Good morning, my fellow Americans. My name's Sam the Dingus, here for a quick talks video about what kind of shoes you should be using for parkour. Generally, for beginners, most shoes will work. Running shoes, tennis shoes, even your Vans, all of that can work. For getting started, I wouldn't worry about it too much, but as you get more into it, there are certain things you're going to want to know, and footwear will eventually matter. So, here are the shoes that I have with me. I'm going to talk to you about them, see if you can figure out which ones are the best, and then I'll get into what criteria it is exactly that makes each shoe different. Alright, so I guess I will say criteria first, the good things. What you're going to want is one flat sole, or some variation of something similar to that. Kind of like how in knives you want a full tang knife, meaning the steel of the knife runs all the way through the handle, not just a blade attached to a handle, because that's very flimsy. And the same is true for shoes as well. If you have one large piece, it's less likely to get broken off in smaller parts, and so it'll serve you better. Additionally, you want little treads or some kind of design that'll help you get grip. That's pretty simple. Most shoes have that to some degree, so you'll have to see it as you get it, but should make sense. Now let's talk about padding. When you're starting off, you should definitely have shoes that have good padding. Help you absorb the impact, be able to do bigger drops and such, but there is certain styles of shoes, and I have them with me, I'll be talking to you about, that have very little padding. And so that's also very cool because, you know, if we're going back to like caveman times, parkour was done barefoot, which is awesome. And I generally prefer to move barefoot, but that's not always an option, especially if you're on concrete and doing big drops. You're gonna need at least some light kind of separation between you and the concrete. And there are shoes that are made specifically to be very minimalist, and I recommend those highly for parkour. Shoelaces or Velcro, doesn't matter. So that seems like pretty much it. I'm just gonna get into you with these different examples here. Alright, this is just your average Walmart shoe. Very, very light. Probably the lightest of any of these shoes, I'd say. But here, check this out. Like I said, it's got that flat sole. I guess I should have talked to you about material too, but this material could be useful, but as you can see, there's no grip maker. Like I said, you want it to be a flat sole, but you need to have some kind of thing that will create friction. This is just flat, and so you'll kind of slip all around the place. But it still can work, but if you're doing drops onto concrete or anything like that, there's a good chance that you'll slip because there's nothing to make friction. Here's the improved version, if you ask me. This is a shoe that I got recently specifically for parkour. I got one in red and one in black. It's probably my favorite investment in the parkour world, other than the GoPro so far. So this is the feiyue Fly Free. It's like $40, so not only is it cheap, but they've been very helpful for me, and they look sick. So here you go. One flat piece, just like the other one. But the difference is, I mean, this is just a better made shoe in general. The material is a lot sturdier. But there's also these. This is great because it's not super protruding, meaning it won't get worn down right away whenever you're running on concrete and such, doing wall tricks and jumps. But it does have those nice slits to give you some friction and catch. I kind of wish that they moved in the opposite direction though, so that whenever you're landing forward, it'll stop you. Nonetheless, this is a great grip. And the thing about this shoe is that, like I said, it's very minimalist. The sole of the shoe, the padding, is not the white part. It's just this very thin yellow part. So there's only a few millimeters between you and the ground, and so it forces you to be more precise, because you feel every impact. Like outside of Walmart's, immediately outside, there's like those yellow strips on the ground with little bumps, and like the shoe literally warps around it as you walk over it. These are another aspect I didn't talk about, is shoe flexibility, and these are the best of the best. So super recommend the Fly Free feiyue. Best parkour shoes I have ever had, and they come in many colors. There's a couple more examples for you here. Here's another Walmart shoe, pretty basic. One flat piece, so not bad, and it's got some friction maker, but this material is very, very soft. This is more just the shoe that I have for walking around. I would never really do parkour in these. Oh, excuse me, caffeine got me bubbling on the inside. But criteria wise, it seems like it works, but you're gonna want something that's a little sturdier than this. But you know, if this is all you got, this could work, but I would doubt its ability to grip you on concrete. Alright, these two I'm very excited to talk to you about because they're some of the oldest shoes I've ever had. These are both Nikes, white and black. This is the Nike Air Zoom Pegasus 3, maybe? Now this is the shoe that I've used for the longest amount of time. Ever since I was in 11th grade I started with these. And it's great because it's a durable shoe. Many of them have broken over the years, as you can see. I've gone through probably 4 pairs of these. And I do abuse them, so it's not really their fault. But it's got that nice flat sole with some grip points that aren't too extra. So I mean, they do get flatter here in the middle because of all the friction, but there's still a good amount of grip on them. And so the only difference between this one and the Fly Free, if you ask me, is that this is hella padding. Pretty much all of this. It's like an inch of padding, so you can take drops without even really feeling it. And when you get to a certain level, I think that that's probably important too. I'll probably change my shoes at some point, but I also see the value in training with minimal protection to force you to be precise. The same is true for these ones, though let's see, let me read the tag. Zoom Windflow 3. That's what this is, and they are a great shoe. They still haven't let me down yet. I got them at the same time as the other ones I just showed you in 11th grade. And I've used them a lot less than the black ones because black is more my color than white, but those are both very flexible shoes that are also durable, and they give you great grip. So gotta highly recommend any of those Nike shoes. They've done nothing but great for me. Last shoe I want to show you. This is the most recent shoes I've gotten, other than the Fly Frees. This is a Puma. I don't actually know what the type of the shoe is. I just got it at a store. But it's good durable cloth, kind of rigid, which can be good too sometimes. I still enjoy using these shoes. The problem is that they're actually a little bit too small for me, so my grading scale is a little bit broken. I'm almost done. But like I said, it's one flat piece. That's what you want. There's not very much grip maker, but I feel like the whole thing is generally pretty grippy. So I would trust this for wall flips and precision jumps or anything like that. Like I said, it's just a damn shame that they're a little bit too small for me. I love to use them. So this is just a very basic sneaker guide to show you what kind of things you should be looking for when you're going out to get a shoe for your free running journey. Recommend these the most because while all these shoes are great, except for the Walmart ones really, most of the good shoes out there are at least like $70 to $120, which is really not that bad of an investment for something like this, but you can get like 3 of these for that price. And so even though that they have no padding on the bottom, the inside is very cushy, very soft. So this is basically my promotion of these for parkourists. Like I said, it'll force you to be precise and have dexterity. It's maybe not a suit fit for everybody, but I mean, look at this. You just fold this right up in 3 pieces. That's the kind of thing that you need in a shoe. So highly recommend you use this. Appreciate you checking out my sneaker guide. It's been a lot of fun. I got a lot more to make and a lot more to do, so stay around. From me and Gus, Merry Christmas.